Our past is one long love affair with games.
That has reached a peak with the digital age.
Today, the planet is covered by video gamers.
The numbers are massively massive and impressively impressive.
I'm Robert Florence.
And I am Ryan McLeod.
Together, we're going on a video gaming journey.
We're on a journey!
From here
to here.
Through a variety of rooms.
Some of which contain other people.
Watch us attempt and fail to answer one question.
What is the future of gaming? When we were young, about 70 years ago, when we were about 3 foot tall and bright purple like a bell end, people were always telling us stark visions of the future.
Most people thought Vickers would be robots by now, and a guy in my street said his uncle was eaten by pixels.
Yeah, and we were told that games like Night Trap represented the future of video gaming. Take a look. Released in 1992, Night Trap was a sci-fi horror interactive movie.
Alien monsters were out to steal the blood from some young women.
Your job was to trap these monsters before any more atrocious acting could take place.
It seemed like the future, but it was terrible.
Way to go, Control. I knew you could do it.
But what is the future of video gaming? To take a look at the past and the present and try to build a picture of tomorrow like we're using some kind of flat temporal Lego, we sat down and had a chat with British gaming legend...
Ian.
Sorry,
Ian Livingstone. But I just call him Ian.
Ian Livingstone has been involved in the games industry since the 1970s.
He became a household name for many with the Fighting Fantasy series of game books.
These were books in which the reader became the hero. It wasn't a linear narrative where you may or might not the storyline. These are which you made the choices. So at the end of each paragraph, you made a choice, turn left, turn right. And that every time you play it was different. And so these titles like Death Trap Dungeon, Forest of Doom were huge international bestsellers. They sold 80 million copies worldwide.
I mean, I think we read the books back in the day, bought them with pocket money. You wrote them. I think we're all looking really, really good.
Yeah, but you're nippers, you know. I'm the old man here.
No, I think in general, I think we're all looking pretty good. I think there's too many young people on the BBC these days anyway. I think this is more like it should be. We should present Top Gear. That lens. We should be the presenters of Top Gear. We could do that. I can't drive.
Ian went down the digital path when he joined a company adapting one of his books into a video game.
That company became IDOS, famous for, amongst other things, Tomb Raider.
You've been prominent on the scene for so long. What would be your advice?
That's a bit rude, Rob.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time. We're old as well.
You saying I'm old?
You've got an overview of the whole thing, the past, the present, the future. What's your overview of the whole thing right now?
Well, it's an incredibly large industry, $100 billion a year in software sales alone. So that is very enticing for everybody. There's no surprise that there are 1,900 game studios in the UK. Of course, many of them are micro studios, one or two people working remotely, but hoping to make the next big thing.
When you are doing a show like this, I was just looking for a camera there. I was looking, can I have a camera? When you're doing a show like this for the BBC, it's always very formulaic. Always a formula to these things. So, you know, we have to ask you about the past and the present and the future of video games. But do you not think it's strange talking about the present of video games? Because do you not think that video games, we always have an eye almost like 5-10 years down the line? Do you not think we're always kind of focusing on the future when we're talking about video games?
Everyone's trying to invent the next big thing. And technology drives innovation in video games like no other entertainment industry. So 10 years forward, there's going to be even more incredible opportunities of blending technology in the game. So games is going to be more pervasive, so you'll be able to play them remotely on any device. Everything's going to be connected. Life is going to become a game. I think that's fantastic. So we've got VR coming quite soon, and there's going to be new technological opportunities for games to become a massive platform. But it won't be just in games, it'll be in entertainment, it'll be in documentaries, it'll be stepping into worlds that you might not otherwise done, whether it's climbing Everest or going to a wedding that you missed and joining in. So, yeah, everyone's future gazing, and I think the UK is really at the front of that gazing, and one of our best industries, which is appreciated and loved around the world.
Ian Livingstone, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Robert, a lot of people are saying that VR, that's virtual real, is the future of video gaming. In their desperation to grab the next big thing in video games, people are actually ordering these things without even having tried them.
Yeah, idiots, aren't they?
Now, it's extremely unlikely that I personally will ever have enough money to own one of these things.
Yep, 100%.
But there will be some rich children out there who want to know if these things are any good. So I think I should probably have a shot of one. You should probably come with me and make sure that I don't fall out of this reality.
All right. So, Ryan, how many years have you been alive now for your sins?
38 years
38 years of life
in this reality.
in this reality.
And I tell you what, I'm sick of it, Robert. I'm sick of this reality. So I'm going to go and visit another reality.
Ryan, put on that headset and get yourself into...
I'm going to assume that in this other reality I'm also short-sighted, so I'm going to keep my glasses on. Yeah,
Good idea.
right enough. I'm in another reality.
Good idea.
I think that's my phone there. I've not got any text in this reality either.
Look behind you. I've heard that's impressive when you do that.
Look, they've got cables in this reality. Amazing. Oh, there's no toilet.
You know, you might notice that the way Ryan is behaving now is very similar to somebody using cocaine. Very, very self-involved. Please take yourself, me, and all the readers out there
Okay.
into this.
Goodbye, Glasgow. Here we...
How does it feel? Ryan, how does it feel?
Playing Eve Valkyrie in VR is somehow dreamlike, yet completely solid. This incredible world called outer space feels like it has the same effect on one's body as falling into a skip full of graphics. I feel excitement both in the experience I'm currently having and with the contemplation of what other thrills this technology can bring us. Exterminate!
There's enemies coming, Robert.
Enemy? What do you mean there's enemies coming?
Is that an enemy?
Channel 4?
I'm too far away. I need to fly in.
Would you describe this experience as visceral?
I'm really trying to concentrate. I'm in the middle of a space battle.
Really annoying when somebody's inside another reality.
I heard the word annoying there. I think that's quite unfair because I'm in a battle for the universe here.
Ryan,
What?
you're getting too involved in that reality.
Oh, look at that.
How does it feel? How does it feel different for Glasgow and for Earth, for the human world? How does it? Ryan,
You're ruining it.
sorry.
I've just remembered I'm crap at games.
So are you also crap at games in that universe?
I don't think it's a game in this reality. I think it's real life. So I'm also crap at real life in this universe.
Ryan is.
Hang on.
Ryan is currently in.
You better not be talking to the camera in that
quiet.
universe. The Gatling gun's dead hard to use.
Ryan, going to quieten down. What a noisy reality that is. He's completely lost within the experience at this point. I've been trying to communicate with him, but I think you can see immersiveness in action here.
It's at this moment I begin experiencing unusual and frightening sensations. I can best describe them as primal. It seems that this new technology has sucked me into this violent and mesmerising third dimension. Ryan McLeod, the pacifist, is now completely gone. I'm fully immersed in a digital bloodlust. And it's in 3D! How much is it? I don't care! I'm getting one!
No, hang on. Where am I?
Yeah, I think he's
I
died.
died.
Ryan, you've only died.
I died.
Ryan, wait a minute. We've
Hang
heard
on,
about
my
this.
body's running the wrong way.
You've only
My
died.
body's running the wrong
You've
way.
only died in the virtual
Robert.
reality. Ryan, you've only died in the virtual reality.
I can't see you.
Listen, it's
can't
death.
see you.
It's only a virtual death. It's all right. It's only a virtual death. Your real death is still waiting for you in the real world. Hey, listen, you've just seen, it's almost like a child being born for the first time. Would you like to just slip them off now and you'll see you're back in the real world?
I don't want to.
Gently, gently,
No!
gently. Gently.
Oh.
There he goes, he's back. He's
How
back.
many years have I got left?
How many years? Ryan now has to adjust back to the real world.
I don't want to be in this reality, Robert.
Were Mama and Dad still alive in that reality you were in?
No, didn't see them. Oh no, I've just thought maybe they were the enemy fighters, I might have killed them.
All this talk about virtual worlds has got me thinking about storytelling. Because, my friends, what is storytelling if not a journey into other worlds? Can't believe I actually just said that.
Have you noticed how nothing of any real significance happens in these bits of the show? We're just talking about what comes next all the time. What's that about? We should try and enjoy this moment in our story. And live in the moment, as they say.
You're right, yeah. Ryan, I hate the moment.
Sorry. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Tragic ancient lands lying in ruins, somehow linked by bonfires. A field of white flowers turn blood red, even without the aid of nanomachines. A plumber skipping across asteroids to save a princess. When video games get story right, they're amazing. I've always wondered whether books have similar plots to video games. I've never read a book before. I really loved The Last of Us on the Sony home console PlayStation device. It's set in a zombie apocalypse, but...
Zombies. Oh, we sold a book about zombies once. Biggest mistake of my life. Oh yeah, we had you all in. Had to take them off the shelves. I told them where they could find their zombie books. HMV, along with their Banksies and their Charlie Brookers. Video games.
It's the interactivity in this extremely dangerous world that helps lend weight to the peril of the characters. Makes you feel along with them. It's really
Feelings! Oh, mother!
Extremely complex techniques of storytelling can be employed by video games. Take, for example, Chrono Trigger. It spans across many different characters and timelines and connects everything beautifully. It's something that other mediums would really struggle to accomplish.
Hey, now, see here, Khrushchev. We don't actually sell your cat and comic book mugs here. Hey!
You see, to tell an incredibly complex and deep story, a video game doesn't even need to use words. You can play through the entirety of Dark Souls, not even paying attention, and it will still seep into you. Every aspect of that world is so precisely composed. You could play it in Japanese and you'd still be completely immersed in it. That's not to say that the words aren't also what...
I like Pac-Man. My parents are divorced. Do you sell Lord of the Rings? I think that everyone should be allowed to do whatever they want.
That's not to say that the words aren't also wonderful. Dark Souls is an artistic masterpiece, and it could only exist as a video game.
If only I'd read a book.
It's 2016, and more so than ever, the land of video games is packed with people who want to tell you stories. In particular, indie games are story-rich. When married properly with the game mechanics, these experiences are unforgettable and joyous. Play video games. They'll tell you stories in ways that nothing else can. Oh! People who read books are very strange. Indie game designers are like my rock stars, Robert. I love those guys. They're very clever.
I think they could all use a good fucking wash.
Well, rock stars don't wash. Have you ever smelled Adele? A smell, more like.
I smell.
Anyway. How do those indie guys do what they do?
Yeah, maybe if we get a better understanding of how these social outcasts actually make these games, it will help us see where the future of gaming is heading. We had a sit down and a chat with the brilliant and brainy academic Dr. Romana Ramzan. Check this footage out.
Dr. Ramzan is a lecturer and researcher in video game design at Glasgow Caledonian University.
So my focus is specifically in user-centred design, and that brings in a lot of psychology into how players think, what players might do, how they might behave. It's the importance of the user in the design process, and it's throughout the entire design life cycle and development life cycle. It is by going out and speaking to these people, finding out what their needs are, what is it that they're craving, what is it that they're wanting, and how can you actually address that in a fun, innovative way.
Academically, you're leading these new designers forward into the future. Must be exciting, but it must also be quite difficult as well to constantly be rethinking how things are done, because as things change, surely the way you have to deal with what you do changes as well.
Absolutely, you're constantly learning as you go along, and it's trying to keep ahead of the developments and then bringing them into your teaching so that students are actually equipped by the time that they graduate. They are equipped with the latest, I guess, know-how on how to deal with the challenges that are presented to them. So at the moment, the biggest problem, I guess, facing designers and developers is how do you compete for people's attention. The markets, especially mobile phone games, markets are saturated with so many different products, so it's how do you stand out from the crowd? I haven't discovered the answer to that yet, but when I do, I'm sure I'll have a #1 hit myself.
Design is a hugely important thing. I mean, the design of these chairs, for example, these are way too low, these chairs, for trying to do a quite serious interview on a BBC TV programme. And I can only apologise for the position that we're sitting in here in this segment.
Fully grown men.
In 10 years' time, when I will be, God willing, dead and buried, where do you see game design?
I think psychology is going to play a bigger part in what we do. The focus is certainly embedded at the moment in our curriculum, but I think it's going to be an even stronger role down the future. Design will be dictated a lot by what people do, how they behave, how they act, things that they see in their day-to-day life, and I think it will be dictated and driven by players.
All this delicious talk about game design and player experience has got me thinking about board games. You ever played a board game, Ryan?
Well, I tell you this much, Robert. I've certainly been bored by a lot of games.
He's on fire tonight. That's a good one. I'll tell you something. He's not going to be bored by this segment coming up here.
Put a 10 on it?
No.
Wait,
You want to oppose it?
so he's got 2 successes going in?
Aye, he's only rolling 1 die. Hello there. Myself and the renowned British actor Richard Rankin are here playing Star Wars Rebellion inside a planetarium because, hey, it's videoGaiden. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, you're very welcome. Now, this is weird because it's kind of like an interview. It's kind of like catching up with a friend. And it's also kind of like a review. I'm going here with him. I'm going to resolve fear. We'll keep them in line. Attempting any system that contains a Death Star Star Destroyer or Super Star Destroyer. If successful, gain 1 loyalty in 2 systems in this region. To quickly explain how the game works, it's really all about leaders. The Rebels have leaders, the Empire have leaders, and you assign the leaders to missions and to regions to move troops around. And the missions are really kind of story-based stuff. This is the cool thing about it. Just 2. That's failed. So, if you excuse my friend's language here, we are currently playing Star Wars Rebellion. Richard, how are you feeling about this? What's your first impressions of this, playing this game?
It's great, it's really good. It's got all the elements you want in a big epic board game. Like,
We have played, though, loads of board games together and loads of kind of epic scale board games. This is one of the simplest ones I've played, like in terms of, you learn the rules in about 5-10 minutes.
It's structured really well. You pick it up really quickly. It's done in such a way, and all good board games are, where, you know, they might seem really complex and involving, and indeed it is, but it's made in such a way where you seem to pick it up quite quickly, and all you need to do is play through a turn or 2. and you know where you are.
He gets 2 extra successes added onto his die roll, but he's only rolling 1 dice.
How does he get that?
Because it's a special bonus. See that wee picture there? It's like a special bonus. That's his particular expertise. The coolest thing, one of the coolest things about this game is the fact that I don't know where this rebel base is. Richard knows where it is. His troops are hidden somewhere in the galaxy, and I need to keep probing and moving around the galaxy. A lot of conquest trying to find this rebel base. How do you feel about this kind of hidden base mechanic, Richard?
I think it's so effective that I forgot where my base is.
Well, you've got it on a card there.
Oh, it's...
See, he's got a card
I have
that he's
something
got
that reminds
aside
me where it is.
that has the rebel base on it. I can move in my super star destroyers. Pew, pew, pew! And destroy the wonderful British actor, Richard Rankin. But we've been talking in this show, we've been talking in videoGaiden in this episode about the future of game design. And I just think it's interesting that as we look into the future and as we get things like VR and all of these exciting things, there's still a lot of people, you know, technology is just advancing. There's still so many people turning back to cardboard and paper. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, we had great nights.
This is the best way to play a game. I think this is the best format of gaming.
It's a bit of a dream game, innit? It's like, this is a kind of board game I would have dreamed about when I was a wee guy, where it's like, I can be the Empire and my mate can be the Rebels, and we can kind of play Star Wars out on a table. And this game will take you about, I think, you know, about 4 hours, and it just tells a brilliant story. But this is the tricky thing, though, about a board game like this, because you have to appeal to board game fans and people that have played lots of board games. I appreciate it because it has clever mechanics in it, but it also is kind of effortless to play. But it doesn't, you know, it's not accessible and feels kind of light and unsatisfying. It's accessible and still has all the story and the excitement and the thrills and the decisions.
Done.
You're done? Yeah. OK. Of course there are, remember, many, many other board games available. This isn't an advert for Star Wars Rebellion, but I think it's just a good example of a game that really shows us where we are now in board games. It's great, isn't it? It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan again. That's the other thing. Richard, when are you going to be in Star Wars?
Obi-Wan.
Look at this. That's why you grew the beard, right?
That's why, exactly.
Yeah, you could do it. You look like a younger, better actor, Ewan McGregor. Anyway, let's get back to the game. So, where were we?
You just subjugated the system, didn't you?
You know, despite us having went on this big journey, and despite us having already spent a fee for the show, I don't feel like we've got any clear grasp yet of what the future of gaming might be.
Did you say you get a fee?
You know, Ryan, maybe we can't conceptualise the future of video gaming. Maybe, Ryan, we are way too damn old.
Right, let me stop you there. It sounds to me like you're about to propose that we speak to someone younger than us about the future of games. I'm out. I can't, I don't believe it. I don't believe in the young. I'm out. I don't believe in the young. I don't believe in the young. I don't believe in the young. Okay? I don't.
When you're talking about the future of gaming, here's the truth. It's not tech, it's not even us. It's them, our kids. Games are about the players. And our kids will be the ones doing the playing. Hey, what's your favourite game?
Minecraft!
If the gaming torch is being passed to our kids, Minecraft is the game keeping that torch lit. And one of the key figures in kids' passage through Minecraft and through video games is Stampy, the YouTube megastar. Thousands of children the world over hang on his every word.
What would you like for breakfast, Stampy?
Can I have a cake, please?
Cake? Cake again? All right, Stampy, cake it is. So you have a massive audience of kids out there, Stampy. Do you feel a big responsibility there?
Yeah, and it's not even just in my videos as well. It's because I feel like I'm a role model to a lot of people, which isn't something that I, really asked for, but it's kind of just happened. So, to how I am at events or even just in public or anything that I post on social media, like I'm very conscious about everything that I do. But it's great, I feel like it's kind of a chance to hopefully make a bit of a positive difference.
When you did your first video on Minecraft, what made you want to keep on doing videos?
When I made my first video, so that was my first ever time playing Minecraft, I heard that, your first night in Minecraft is kind of something quite memorable. I kind of wanted to record it, and I ended up uploading it, but then I immediately just got addicted to Minecraft and just loved making videos, and so since then I just haven't stopped.
Minecraft is a really, really special game. Why do you love it, and why do you think so many people love it and so many children?
So I think the amazing thing about Minecraft is it can be a different thing for different people. Like, it's basically a platform to play on, rather than kind of being told to play it in a specific way. Some people might be builders, some people like mining and the survival aspect. It can kind of just be used for so many different things. That's why it just appeals to so many different types of people.
What do you think this next generation is going to be like? Because we've got kids who play the games, sure, but also a big part of their gaming life is watching YouTubers, watching Let's Play videos and stuff like that. What do you think we're going to see? Are we going to see lots of kids growing up wanting to become YouTubers, do you think?
Yeah, I think that definitely is the case. I think that is already happening. I think that the newer generations are kind of looking up to people that have been doing YouTube for longer and kind of feeling like, I want to be in that position. So I think that a lot of people are kind of getting smarter about how, websites like YouTube work and kind of how to kind of play the system a bit to try and be more successful.
Thanks, Stampy.
Thank you, bye.
Stampy. I wanted to talk to you a bit more personally. I know you're in bed, and I didn't want to do it face to face because, see, I don't think that the future of video gaming is going to be anything to do with like VR. Everybody all trapped away in VR helmets and all that. I think it's in community, friendship. My wee lassie, she's had a difficult year to negotiate. A lot of changes, a lot of grown-up stuff to deal with, and you have made it a lot easier. Being there with your regular videos, making her laugh, sparking her imagination. It's really made a difference, a massive difference. When she's been here at my house, you've been here. And when she's went to her lovely mum's house, you've gone there with her. And it's been a pleasure for us all to have you, your craft, your compassion. Because it matters what you do, what people like you do. So here's to you, Stampy, and all the ones like you. And you know what, here's to video games for tying us all together in one big family. And here's to a beautiful future, whatever it holds. I blame Night Trap.
You always blame Night Trap.
How could we possibly visualise the future of video gaming when we were stupid enough to believe all those false dawns that we were sold in the past? We're relics, mate, we're relics.
What you're saying is, it's time to pass the torch.
See, you're saying torch. Nobody even uses torches these days. The young team are all just using the light for the screens on their pagers.
The future will be what it will be, I suppose. My friends, we're all interested in the future, for that is where we will spend the rest of our lives.
And remember, my friends, future events such as these will affect you in the future.
And if you want to see more from Rab and Ryan, you'll find more from videoGaiden in the Scotland category on BBC iPlayer. On the way next tonight here on BBC Two Scotland, it's Scotland 2016.